So I remember a great statistic that I heard once, which is you should spend 75% of your time trying to understand the problem that you're trying to solve before you actually go ahead and do anything. So how do you understand the problem that you're trying to solve by taking a blockchain lens? What are the questions you might ask yourself which are specific to blockchain, which will help you make sure that blockchain is a helpful technology to fix the problem at hand? What are the characteristics which let you think collaboration, decentralized collaboration, will be more helpful than an alternative approach like a centralized one? And, the more you think about this, the more you think, well, it comes down to the data, right? And if the quality of the data, if the ownership of the data, if the monetization of the data is related to the problem at hand, and if this data is valuable, if this data is sensitive, you have to ask yourself, is there somebody trusted who can bring all this data together and have sight and control of all of this data across the market? Or is it so valuable as a fuel to drive economic activity in the future that you'd be nuts to give it up? And if you stop and think about, where we are now, go to the US stock market and look at the list of the biggest companies in the world, companies that are growing during this COVID time, and ask yourself, well, where is this growth coming from? Now, sure, a lot of it's coming from, cloud, right? A lot of it's coming from there. But the rest of it is kind of coming from this data thing, right? Where the individual has given their data away, right? We're not going to repeat that mistake. So when you're trying to understand the problem for your use case, always think about data as fuel for activity. And ask yourself, if I give that data away to a third party, have I effectively made myself into a digital slave? Am I making somebody else rich at my expense? So I think that's the question you need to ask yourself when you are selecting a use case for blockchain, and try to understand the problem that you're fixing and why blockchain may be helpful. Okay, cheerio.